Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Straight Talk, No BS. Season 5, y'all. Season 5. We back. How y'all feeling? I know we didn't already had a show. We've already officially been back. But, baby, couch talk, pillow talk, straight talk, random talk. I live for these days, too. And I don't know what's all this fur around me. You know what I'm saying? Got my allergies because you got me all up in got my allergies all acting up and carrying on. You know what I mean? Hey, what is going on with Tanya and all this damn fur? Look at this fur. Look at it.
It is her alter ego coming in, baby. What is your alter ego?
It's speaking. She got my eyes watering over here. Y'all got my allergies acting up. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Like, for some reason, now that I'm like, getting old, that's 40, what it is. 40 to the 5, that's where I'm at. But it seems like every year is getting stronger and stronger. I love anything furry. If it just feels good, y'all need to try it. Don't knock it till you try it. Rub on it. Rub on it. No, come on, rub on it. It's therapeutic. This old woman stuff.
She said it's therapeutic.
It's therapeutic. It feel pretty good though. I can go to sleep on that. To your spirit. It feel good to your skin. But I can't see myself in none of that. Could y'all see me coming out in some fur like that?
I wish you would. I'm gonna talk about
some black fur, some like black and gray fur. I'm gonna do it one day. I'm gonna come out with some bombs up a bag. Oh, so you trying to be funny? No, I'm saying it looks great on you, but I couldn't pull it off. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's something about the daggum fur, y'all. Anyway, y'all, how y'all feel being back? I like it, like I said.
I'm glad we're back. We took a long, extended, needed break. But I'm glad we're back.
Well, y'all know how we do it on the show. We get to what's on your mind. All right, y'all. I want to talk about something that's really serious. I mean, you scared me. Am I scaring you? Don't get scared, baby. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. Okay. Y'all, women especially, we need to start giving our daughters the tools to say hell no to these detrimental relationships. You know what I'm saying? These toxic relationships. You know what I'm saying? Even men, if you have daughters, you need to tell them you don't have to stay in that relationship. Teach them what to look for. And I want to know, and I'm asking the audience too, so I need for y'all to get into the comments before I share my stories about this, okay? But I need to know why do women stay in toxic relationships, especially these young women now? They stay in toxic relationships. They forget who they are. They forget themselves and start just accepting being controlled. Is it because they didn't grow up with a father? Or what is it? Is it because they seen their mother treated like that? Why do young women stay in toxic relationships and lose themselves? I mean, to the point to where they're going to the penitentiary, to the point to where they're losing everything. Somebody get in the comment and tell me, why do women stay in toxic relationships? And especially these young women. I'm talking about our daughters, these young women, young generation. Nay, could you tell me why?
In my own experience, honestly, for me, I was looking for some type of validation. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be accepted. And I know that's a cliche for a lot of young women of today. But looking back over all the things that I accepted in my past relationship, not just one, but several past relationships that were failed because I was too busy changing myself for them, They were not worth the change. It's 365 days in a year you want to change, but each time you make a change, you need to make that change for you, no one else. No one else. You're going to sacrifice and make change for the good of the relationship, but you're not the only one that has to do all the changing. They're going to either love you the way you are or they're not good enough to love you. It's not that you're not good enough for them, they're not good enough for you.
So why do young women let men get into their head and change them, change everything about them to where they feel like everything that I used to do is wrong? And now I need to sort of clone myself to be this guy who I'm with.
I've had a person tell, go ahead. I had a person tell me one time they mentally tried to break me down to build me back up. And I told them that was bullshit.
I've heard that.
I've said it.
A lot of women will call those men narcissistic men.
But, you know, when you talk about why do women stay in toxic relationships, or why do women allow men or other their partners to mentally change who they are, to give them doubt, to where they're
brainwash them. That's what I'm talking about.
It's a form of brainwashing, but it's like, I think back, it's dealing with your core. I mean, you said something that struck a nerve, because I said to myself, you said, is it because you don't have a daddy in your household? I don't know about that. I've heard that a lot. Oh, well, because the female didn't have a male figure in their home, that is why they tolerate toxicity in a male woman relationship, or a dominant relation. You know, the dominant counterparts relationships. I don't think that has anything to do with that. I think it's got to do solely with your inner core. You understand what I'm saying? I do think we as a society, or just we as people, pick up what we see. So if you do happen to be, or if you've been raised in a household to where you saw that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to pick up some of that and think that, hey, maybe this is how this is supposed to be, whether you do it on purpose or not. Even if you see, like, you know, in my household when I was young, my dad drunk. He drunk a lot, and I vowed I would never ever be with anybody, or I tolerate that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I never have, but I did see my mom controlled. I did see my mom go through situations where she was controlled. Basically, she didn't have a mind of her own. She let influence of the person that she was with take over. So I did see that and have.
So did that make you say to yourself, in order for me to be in a relationship with a man, I need to be submissive to that man and bow down and do whatever he says?
Inadvertently. Okay. I didn't do it intentionally. I swore I never would do that. I hated to see my mom go through that type of situation over and over and over with whoever she dated, whoever, you know, whether it was my dad's, if it was someone she dated after they broke up, it didn't matter. I saw it time and time over, and it hurt me. And I said, I would never do that. That's wrong. How dare, you know what I'm saying? But I ended up doing it. I was that woman, and it wasn't on purpose. So when you say, why do women do it? I don't think anyone chooses to tolerate or go into something toxic. They don't want to be in anything like that.
But when do you say enough is enough and you walk away from that toxic relationship? Because I'm going to tell you now, I had a family member. Oh, now I'm going to let you go ahead before I tell my story. Go ahead.
The only thing that I can say to that specific question you just asked, when do you say enough is enough? Only that real young woman, bitch indeed, because I was that bitch indeed. Only that bitch indeed can say enough is enough. I don't care how many times you walk away from your toxic situation. If you haven't had enough, you'll be back, and you'll keep coming back, and you'll keep accepting his excuses to why he's XYZ and XYZ. And I just got one little clip. One of my children is trying to venture into something. And somebody said, don't ask your daddy because you're just setting yourself up for failure. Bullshit. That's your dad. You ask that sorry piece of shit, whatever the fuck you want to ask him, so he won't be able to have the excuse to say, well, you didn't ask me. Whether he provided or not, he needs to know that that's a need in your life. That's what's wrong with some women today. Well, if he's not doing this and he's not doing that, well, he's not going to see his kids. He's not going to XYZ. If you don't put it on forefront for them to see, then you're giving them the excuse not to do because they didn't see it in the first place. Does it make sense what I'm trying to say?
I'm not following. I mean, are you saying that because she reached out to, or that she should reach out to her father figure to get the guidance or something that's going to allow her to not fall into something toxic? I mean, what are you saying, Nate? Explain that to me.
She's trying to do something positive, and somebody else told her not to ask. He's already hurt you already. Don't ask him. Don't ask him. I disagree with that. That's your dad. That's your dad. If you can't go to your parents in your time of need, whether they can help you or not, they may be only able to give you the advice or the tools to get out of the danger or situation that you're in. But if you don't go to them with the situation, how the hell can they help you?
So are you saying that that women, young women, older adults, whatever, you're saying that we do need a father figure. We do need that strong male figure. And no matter what the type of relationship you have, whether it's salty, good, whatever, go to that male figure. Are you saying we need that to help us stay out of toxic?
I feel like my daddy owed me that. I felt like Kenneth Wayne Beasley, God rest his soul, he's been gone 8 years. I felt like he owed me that. Because only a man can guide you and show you the structure of another man. A woman can't teach you that because she's sensitive. She's emotional.
Well, what she's saying is that a man can tell you what to look out for in the male.
And that's it, though.
Okay, true.
Because
that's why I said in the beginning, men need to step up too and give their young daughters those tools to know how to handle those situations when they're in those toxic relationships.
No,
women and men. What do you mean, no?
I agree with you somewhat, but I truly believe it's the women. We need to follow other women, strong women, our mothers, our grandmothers, especially the OGs, the grannies, or whatever. Follow another woman. Only a woman can tell you about a woman. A man can only give you so much. So therefore, I give you credit to what you just said.
What I'm saying is
show you what to prevent you
to
from.
warn your daughters about what men are doing.
Right, because a man knows a man.
Brainwashing. Yes,
right.
Yes.
Right.
He played the game back in the day. You know what I'm saying? He was once a young man.
But a woman, see, a man doesn't know what we think, how we feel, emotional imbalances, sways this way or that. Only another woman will. And so I feel like all the older women who've been there, who've done that, honest to God, need to share that with us. You need to speak that right now because you had a mama who
I had a strong mama. My mama didn't put up with bullshit. You know what I'm saying? As a result, when I came up, I didn't put up with bullshit from a man. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like you, on the other hand, your mom was the laid back, submissive type. And that's the reason why you did put up with a lot of bullshit that you shouldn't have put up with behind men. You know what I'm saying? Following another woman. Now, to get to my story that I was about to say, the reason why I brought up this topic is because I have a family member who got into a relationship with a bad character. He was a bad actor. You know what I'm saying? Just got out of the penitentiary, right? For robbery, right? And this man, she brought him into her household with her kids. They didn't know each other probably about a week. You didn't brought this dude that just got out of the penitentiary. Not saying that all penitentiary people are bad, but she brought him into her household. He moved in. He was staying with her, right? Ended up pulling a gun out on her kids. Mm-hmm. That's red flag number one. Get rid of his ass. You didn't put a whole gun in my child's face. So now the kid that went back to school and then told the counselor, yeah, he pulled a gun on us, right? So now we got CPS involved, right? Okay, she still didn't get rid of this dude. He got her so brainwashed. I love you. Ain't nobody else gonna love you like I love you. So forth and so on. She in the house. He's getting upset. They get into it. He's punching holes all in the wall. You know what I'm saying? Holding her hostage. She snuck and sent me a text message telling me that, hey, come down here and get me. And I'm like, why can't you call me? Call me on the phone. So I'm calling her phone. It's going straight to voicemail. And she's saying he won't let me go. So we drive down out of town to go try to reach her and rescue her, right? Call the police along the way. We get there, right? The police come. My family member, and the guy, they're pulling up by her house, and they drive on by the house and pass the house up because they see that the police is out there and we're there. So The police gets behind them, stop them, and get the guy out the car. And he's talking to the guy, and I'm up in the guy's face too, like, dude, you know what I'm saying? What's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm pissed off at this point because you holding my family member hostage. So anyway, the police didn't take him to jail, just made him get his stuff and leave the house. So I take my niece down to my other family member's house, her mom's house, so she can get away from the dude. She's so brainwashed and worried about being away from this dude for so long that she spends $250 to catch a lift to get back to him. $250, I said, to get back to this dude that's abusive and brainwashing her. Right? Now, it ends up that this dude, and I'm going to say allegedly, end up murdering somebody. Kicking in the door and murdering somebody, right? And she went down to the police station and gave testimony along with this dude, right? You risking your life. And that's why I said, when is enough enough? You know what I'm saying? She threw away her whole life behind a dude. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, she didn't get no time for that. But, I mean, she got probation, but I'm just saying, but was it worth it? Was it worth it? When
of course, when you're in it, you don't think like that.
I mean, you don't. Is it worth your freedom? Though?
You're not thinking like that. Like, of course, to someone third party on the outside looking in, says
that's some For My Man bullshit.
Right?
Have y'all seen that? Have y'all seen that show For My Man, where the women go out and murder people or rob folks and all this stuff for their man
because a man told them to do it? Well, I'm just saying, you know, ordinarily, like I said, third party outside looking in, you say to yourself, girl, what's wrong with you? Ain't nobody worth that type of thing. Ain't nobody worth my freedom. But baby, let me tell you something. When you in that, when your self-esteem has been knocked down to the floor, when you don't look at yourself in that way that you're a strong, self-sufficient, independent person that can take care of themselves, that loves themselves, and it's enough. The love you get, the love you can contain for yourself is enough, and you seeking it from somebody else, all they got to do is tell you, baby, you pretty, you gorgeous, oh my God, you so fine,
I love you,
I love you. Ain't nobody gonna love you like I do. All that old extra fluffy shit that they do, and I'm not trying to say all men are this way. I'm just saying,
I'm talking about men and
in
women,
the toxic
you have women who's doing it
who
too.
do the same. But when a woman's spirit has been beaten down so low and her self-esteem is knocked down like that, she's not intentionally trying to do that. She don't. Who? When you say nay, would you agree? I know you got your finger up because you're ready to tell me something. But what woman, audience, what woman wants to deal with that type of stuff purposefully? Who wants to deal with someone controlling you and making you do decisions such as taking up for somebody who done did a whole crime and you got children?
That's the reason why I say it has to be something mentally, something low self-esteem or something.
Your spirit is broke.
We need to lift these young women up. We need to tell them they're worth more than that. Stop throwing your life away.
Now your finger up, girl. Bitch, what?
I'm going to say this because, Judy, I'm going to go back to your friend that was the counselor. A lot of times, just a smidget, and because I'm not one of those people that go off your childhood, I think that's bullshit. But just a smidget, when you already come from a broken background, and you're trying to figure out how to make your life whole and figure out where you fit at in life, and you're trying to find that perfect partner for you or for you and your children, you will fall for anything. And I can't speak on anybody's situation but mine. When I fell for my kid's dad, my girl's dad, it was solely because my mother had just got murdered. He was my comfort for my grievement for my mom. Even though my mom had her own demons that she was dealing with, I clinged to him like pepper and salt. Me and this dude, we was gonna ride like Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay, let me ask you, before you tell me more about you and this dude, was your personality and spirit strong? Was your core strong before you met him and clung to him? Okay.
Because I come from a broken background. I wanted my mom. I wanted my dad. I wanted that family structure. I wanted what kids had around me that I grew up with, that I longed for. I had kids tell me all the time, I pray for you. I don't know why y'all go through what y'all go through. Because my parents had their own demons that they were fighting with. But the purpose that I'm trying to say, a lot of time when women get caught up in their circle, Judy, to what you just asked, is already because they're beaten down before their life even begins. And that's no excuse. Time out. Because I don't believe in crying wolf. That's no excuse, because if you take time to learn who you are and your self-worth in the beginning, a motherfucker later on down the line can't take you fast. But I wasn't fortunate enough to know that at an early age. So I cling to my kid's dad, and I thought we were going to be Bonnie and Clyde, and we wasn't Bonnie and nothing. We wasn't shit. He ran left, he ran right, he ran backwards. But what he didn't run to was me. Now, he admitted to my children, hey, your mom was a good mom. Hey, your mom was an excellent mom. But by the time I realized that I had a good woman, it was a day late and a dollar short. And it was. So then you go on. Go ahead.
No, I'm keeping up with it because, okay, you said you came from a broken background. Your strength, you didn't really, by the time you met this man, your core wasn't as strong as you would have liked it to be. So your self-esteem wasn't up there. I'm just reiterating what you're saying. And so you came at a point, or he came along at a point when you were broken, when you were even more broken down. Because I don't know about y'all, but anybody lose a mama, that's just like a whole nother level, right? A whole nother level of love.
That's the worst you could ever be.
Okay, so you're down there, and anybody at that point in time, I think, can tell you anything, baby. There, honey, it's raining $1 million, $1 billion lottery tickets outside. You know, and you gonna believe it. But I'm just saying.
But would you would have took the rap for him if he would have did something?
Probably.
And you had to go down.
It depends. No, it depends.
No, but wait. That's why I take the record player off of him. So then when I realized that he's not the chain to hold me together, I go to my dad. I go to the one man. I go to the one man that should have been there for me before any man, because my mom is gone.
Okay.
My mom is gone.
Okay.
And you know what my dad do?
What?
He give me a bag.
More toxicity.
More toxicity.
Well, shit. So, Judy, what you talking about? A man coming in to give you the guidance and the strength that you need to be able to deal and to see the light. I need to see the light.
That's just because that's just because that's all he knew. That was his background. You know what I'm saying? That's
what he knew.
Okay, so wait a minute. That was him giving her the strength she needed. Yeah, that was his way, because that's all he knew.
Right, Tanya, because that's where I was going full circle. Judy is she's absolutely right.
To heal himself and to cover up things, the hurt and stuff that he was going through. So hey, here, daughter, here, take this bag. You know what I'm saying?
That's his strength. That was his guidance.
She's absolutely right. So now at 47, I'm trying to circle it around. This beast can't be killed. The woman in me.
Are you passing it? Are you passing that which you now know, even though that was your father's way of giving you that strength that, you know, Judy said maybe the male figure missing in the home is a reason why women deal with so much. You went to your daddy, you know, at the time you lost your mama, you went to your daddy, you asked him, hey, daddy, I need some strength. I'm weak. You know, what the hell, right? And he gives you what he could give you. So getting that, and now you know that might not have been the strength you needed. But hey, even though that might sound wrong to some, y'all got to, hey, I got to give y'all credit, because that's the type of hustle that makes a person strong. That gives you strength on a way that maybe you can't see. Girl, I know I'm saying, like having a hustle and go get it. I ain't got that type of strength, y'all. I ain't got the street smarts. I can take advantage on the daily, if you ask me. Boy. But y'all have done some. We ain't gonna put it out there because Straight Talk doesn't condone half the shit y'all niggas. Okay. Anyway, that might have given you some type of strength that still brought your character up. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay. But I'm saying what I'm trying to ask you, Nate, is knowing what you received from your dad at that time? Are you able to change that around because you have children? Are you passing that to your kids? How are you changing the chapter or the narrative? How are you fixing it?
I took those children into the same circle that my father took me into. But when I realized that my children were picking up on the habits that I had instilled in them, because they didn't go to the streets to learn it from anybody. A lot of times, and I tell my kids this to this day, anything that your children do, it comes from in-house. In-house.
I don't believe.
If your kids are
I don't agree. And I'm gonna say
wait. Because if your children are imitating what they see you do, and I'll give you a prime example. I'm not going to say which child of mine, but I was doing what I was doing, and she said, I think Mr. Pepper came to get a pack. And she said,
wait, what the hell's a pack?
Oh, God.
What's that? Anyway, go ahead, girl.
She's 7. I have to ask myself, do I whoop her for being in adult business?
What else could a pack be?
Do I spank her for being in adult business? Or do I sit down and regroup my thoughts because I put my child in an adult business?
Well, a child.
So I didn't spank her. I had a decision to make. I'm going to either get out of the bag and find a legit way to make it, or my kids are going to learn the streets the way I learned the streets. So when you ask me, have I taught them differently? That's what I meant by education come from home. My kids don't know nothing about the bag. If they know anything about the bag, it ain't because that's what I taught them.
Are they stronger women because of it? That's all I want to know, because this, why do women
no. My daughters are watching me right now. My daughters are watching me right now, and both of them are weak for the sake of their partner. Okay. So no, they did not learn. They're learning, but they're learning because they're riding their own treadmill on their own. They're not learning because mama told them that's not what you need to do.
My question is this, and I know I'm sure switching this around a little bit, is what do you do when you're in that situation to where you have a child who is in a toxic relationship and you can't do anything to deter them or to get them out of that toxic relationship? What the hell do you do? And you have to sit there and your child suffer day in and day out, being controlled, losing everything that they worked so hard to get. What do you do?
I backed up, Judy. I'm telling you, I backed up. When it got to the point to where I put myself in danger, I put my grandkids in danger, I put my daughter in danger, I backed up. Because she's not going to choose me. She's not going to choose me. She has to choose herself before she can choose me. I literally put my entire family in danger for the sake of my child because I knew the toxicity that she was in was not worth it because I had been there with her father. All I could do.
You say back up. That I'm a mama too. We all mamas sitting on this panel. And when you see your child, it doesn't matter if it's a man, if it's your son or your daughter, your child, the one you gave birth to, the one you went through labor for, the one you done sacrificed your draws and everything else, period, for. When you see them get with someone who is verbally abusing them, who's hurting them, you as their parent hurt too. Now I'm talking about daddy or mama. You see your child hurting like that. It hurts you. So what do? The natural inclination. You're inclined to just naturally go get.
You ready?
I can't even fight.
We are protected.
I don't fight. I'll run you over with a car. But I'm just saying.
You going to jail.
You want to go there with the person that's hurting them. And so, Nate, for you to say that you're supposed to back up, I'm learning that a little bit more now.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard, but you got to.
Backing up means it shows to me when you say back up, to me that sounds like neglect. And this
you got to realize they're grown now. They're grown. They have to make their own decisions. It's hard as hell. Me, I don't want to back up. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to put on the gloves and Vaseline and get with it. Let's get in the street. Me and your nigga. But audience, what would you do if it was your child in an abusive relationship or a toxic relationship? What would you do? Would you back up?
To me,
or what is something that we can do?
To me, backing up, it feels like neglect, right?
Yes.
But I say to myself, what if that one time I say, okay,
I'm
gonna back up, and that one damn time ends up in something so negative, like my child being hurt or something even worse than that. You understand what I'm saying? And all I had to do was intervene like I had been doing before. I would not be able to live with myself for that shit, because then I would say it's my fault why that shit happened to you, knowing good and well it was my child's choice.
You didn't ruffle the feather.
But girl, I'm just saying though. That's me. That's me. I would die. I would literally die on the inside. I couldn't live with myself.
Calm down, Diana. Calm down.
And so, Nay, when you say you supposed to back up, Jay, when you say you supposed to back up, because she tells me this all the time.
I never back up.
She don't.
I never back up. I just started backing up.
You still don't.
Just started.
You still don't.
But I still let them know I'm crazy over here. This bitch is crazy over here.
You know how hard it is to look at your child and see your child in need, and all you want to do is reassure that child that it's going to be okay with or without that partner, and that child does not have faith in what you're saying as the parent, even though you've been down that road, been down there, done it. Yes. My definition that I always say to my kids, and for any young woman that's watching this now or in the near future, please, with no tears rolling down my face. And when I say faith, I mean faith in face. Learn what your self-worth is. Because if you don't love yourself enough, a man or another woman will ever love you as much as you can love yourself. At 47 years old, I'm on this screen. We do this for fun. We enjoy it. But this bitch that's talking, I love me. I don't listen to nobody but me. If my spirit say move, I move. If my spirit say sit, I sit, because I know me. And my friends that are on this panel will tell you my number one saying for myself, bitch, bet on black. I'm going to always bet on myself. I say that because my girls are watching. You got to have enough faith in yourself. You got to have enough love in yourself for you before you can love anybody else. You got to have enough spirit to love yourself.
When you don't have enough of that,
I get too frustrated.
When you don't have enough of that, when you do not have enough of that in you because you have been brought down, that is what gets you to accept shit that don't look right. Like I said, outside looking in, we like, girl, why that girl fall for that? We just watched on Divorce Court the other day. All kind of mannerisms. She gave 15 reasons why. Judge Str8 sat there and told her, girl, don't you do that. This, yeah. Gave her speeches, gave her encouragement, words of empowerment. You're a queen. You don't tolerate. Yeah. She gave her stuff that a mama would have given. All to be at the very end where the dude stepped over to her and said, baby, come here. And he got down on one knee and he slid that ring on her finger. And she said, well, that's all I've ever wanted from him is to have. Now she's starting to defend him, making excuses why all the stuff XYZ was okay. And that right there was like, why? All I'm doing is screaming at the TV screen. Bitch, you just gonna be hurt. Don't do it. I'm hollering at this girl. I don't even know her from a can of paint, but I'm still talking to her because I feel it. I see myself. I see my daughter. I've seen our family members.
That's the thing, though, Tanya. I'm glad you said that. You see yourself, but you got to realize how much time did it take for you to realize everybody got to go through their own storm before they realize. And unfortunately, years have passed. And then you sitting up here in your 40s and you saying, damn. You're looking back at that shit and saying, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me blow up this screen, best friend. Let me blow up this screen. I say it one more time because I want these people to see what you just. I'm going to put my face in this screen.
Put your face in there, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. Start off on that definition.
Girl, some of us, it just takes a long time to get to that point to where you say, damn, I realize now, I see my mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I finally love myself enough to say I will not allow this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But it takes time.
The purpose of this show,
you got to understand, young women are inexperienced.
Thank you. And so what I'm saying is, on this show, this panel, this platform that we have as 3 women, 3 Black women who have been there, done that, what do we say to the ones who cannot, who are currently in the fire, in the storm, who don't got nothing left in the well to dig into?
Love
what do you do?
Yourself.
How?
Love yourself.
How?
It starts with one word at a time, Tanya. It starts with one word at a time. Me. God forgive me, but I choose me. And after you choose you, then I choose my children. Because if I love me, my kids are going to get all of me.
There you go. And you can then give them girls or the sons the energy, the confidence, the strength that they will need to be able to see mama stood up to that bullshit. I ain't finna take that. I'm worth more than that. And therefore the cycle breaks.
The cycle breaks. But one thing my kids have shown me, and it's not just my girls, even though we're on the cycle of girls, the one things that my kids have shown me, and I got a 29-year-old son, they gonna have to go through the cycle. Ain't no such thing as they just gonna listen and pick it up. They gonna go through the cycle like we did. They gonna go through the cycle like our parents did. They're gonna go through the cycle. We just hope and pray that they break the cycle sooner than we did. And right now, the way my children are going, oh shit, they about average where I was at that age. The only thing my kids are doing the only thing that my kids are not doing that I was doing is out in the streets hustling. That's the only cycle that I broke. I can honestly say God broke the chain on that. I did not want my children to be out there and know what that game was about.
What mama does, especially like I say, you don't want to see your children repeat that. That's what hurts so bad. But it's like this lesson that I feel, this topic that we feel, it's crazy to me because we talk about women empowerment, our young girls, our young females, but this is also something for our young sons. I would never have thought I would witness this, but this is my son, our son. We're witnessing this very thing with a male. You say the men are doing it to the females. Well, the women are also doing it to the men. So again, this is about what we teach. This is our young.
He was independent.
He
strong-minded. You couldn't tell him nothing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he set his mind on doing, he would do. But now he's being controlled.
And I never thought that.
I mean, it's sad. It's sad. And it's sad when you got to sit back on the sidelines and just watch it happen. Watch your child lose themselves. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to stay in a relationship that's unhealthy. I really don't understand. I can't say I don't understand it. Like I said, I've been there. I've experienced it. It happens in all dynamics of relationships, even women and women. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have women friends that are in lesbian relationships and they're being controlled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's about you. Like you said,
it starts with you. It starts with you.
So if you're in this and you are in something that's hard, everybody has that woman's tuition or any of that situation where you know and you feel it. God gives us that to all, but I especially feel, we know when something's not right. Right. So you know that about yourself, or you know that what you're in is not healthy, it's toxic.
Get out of it. Quit being afraid of being alone.
Start with that little something. Find that one little something. Find that one family member you can voice something to, that you can, because there's no judgment. This is what I wanted to say. Realize that your impurities, your flaws, and the things that people keep telling you, like the one that's over you, the one that's controlling you, tells you about you. Maybe you're too fat. Maybe you have a speech impediment. Maybe you're not intelligent enough or incompetent. Maybe you can't read, or maybe you don't look and size up to the next person or whatever. Oh, I used to only date these yas and all. Whatever it is that you're being told, or whatever it is you're feeling insecure about with yourself, realize that God has got you. And I'm not trying to preach, but I'm just saying he made you who you are, and there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you except all of this. Because
no one's gonna say.
I'm saying it starts with accepting.
Yes, when you believe in yourself.
Period.
Just like I could be the ugliest person in the world, but if I believe that I'm the sexiest person in the world,
that's it. That's
everybody else gonna think I'm the sexiest person in the world, and that's the truth. Whatever you feel in the inside is gonna reflect on everybody else, and that's the truth.
And that's what it starts with, to me.
And if you believe that in your mind, best believe, man. Can't nobody tell you nothing. That's where your strength come from. Believing in yourself and loving on yourself and loving you.
This topic tonight, y'all, I'm sorry. It was important. I'm glad we had it. I'm glad it was something that was what's on your mind. Just simply because it's time out for so many people to be going through stuff.
I'm tired of seeing young ladies throw their life away. You know what I'm saying? Only thing, and I'm not saying that all men, but it's like all these young girls, they're getting pregnant even before they graduate. You know what I'm saying? Starting
wait, you ain't have to put that part right there in there because I got pregnant.
Don't get offended by it. We made it through. But I'm just saying, they throwing their lives away. They throwing their lives away because some smooth talker come up to them and tell them how good they look.
I done heard it all.
You know what I'm saying? And they eating it up and jumping into a relationship with the first person that comes along. Believed it. Without knowing shit about this person. And the only thing they can do is leave you with a house full of babies. And then they gone. They still got their life. You know what I'm saying?
We'll do it. Every single
and no matter how much us mothers, we preach and preach and preach to these young girls, they just don't get it. So we got to find a better way to help them to get it.
Honey, I'm glad.
Digest it and swallow it.
Talk about it.
I'm serious.
I have used this platform to speak about my daughters. So let me use this platform to speak to my daughters. You are looking at a woman that will go to hell and back for you. You are looking at a woman that will go to hell and back with you. But the day that you wake up and realize that you're more and that you're worth more than what you're putting yourself through, I will be that woman at the end of the road to tell you, bitch, I told you so. I told you so. You want to know why I told you so? Because I'm your mother. And if I can overcome it, and if I can overcome all my disbeliefs of what people said about me because of my disability or because of my shortcomings or because of my parents, you're looking at a parent that is here to tell you, you can overcome it. But the only way you can is because you choose to. And I need everybody to like and share this video. When you choose yourself, you're a winner every day.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. Stop wasting your years. That's what I would say. Stop wasting your years. And you have that gut feeling, like you said, when you're in a toxic relationship. You know it's bad. You know what I'm saying? When you have to change who you are to fit in, it ain't right for you. And I know that one of my children, it's like they're a whole nother person when they're away from the dude that they're with. But when they're in that dude's company, they're somebody else. I'm like, damn, I can't bond with you. I can't communicate with you because you're too many damn different people. Who are you today? You know what I'm saying? You changing yourself to fit in. Well, really, I mean, the relationship is dead because it's like this dude, he don't even know who you are. Who did he fall in love with? You know what I'm saying?
Y'all ever know that sometimes when you're trying to give your children that advice that, you're thinking is going to help them to pull them up out of their shit? Mm-hmm. Do you ever notice that they back away from you and they run away?
Yes.
And I think that goes with anybody. That's just like anybody that has an addiction to something, drugs or whatever. Because basically a toxic relationship is like a drug. You know what I'm saying? You're in it and you want to be, it's not maybe something
you're not happy.
But you're drawn to.
But you're not happy. And that's the part I'm still trying to figure out. Why stay in something if you're not happy?
Because there are the times when you were happy. There are
you hanging on to those memories.
Well, that's what you're pulling on. Those things. There's a moment. There's a feeling. There's something you're
and as long as you're making that person happy, then you're happy, right? That's the way I gotta. I guess that's the way I see it.
There's a toxic whirlwind, and there's somewhere that makes no sense on the outside, but to you on the inside, it makes all the sense.
Carolyn talk about we crazy.
We are as women. But I'm saying I made that point because it's like this. When you try to come to your kids or whoever that you're
Carolyn,
trying to
you need to come to your senses. You need to come to your senses.
And you try to help them, they run away from you. You all of a sudden notice the distance that they give you. And you're like, man, I'm just trying to give you something to help you because I see something. And it makes you feel bad as a mama or a friend or whoever that's trying to give some help and they run away from you.
Well,
but have y'all ever noticed?
If I need to tell my... Go ahead. What?
Have y'all ever noticed a lot of times when people on the outside looking in, you can see the negativity that's going on, but they think that you're trying to break them apart when all you're trying to get them to do is open their eyes? I have been slapped and slapped and slapped and slapped like, Mama, you just don't understand. I love you. But you can see the toxicity or whatever, you can see the poison leaking like out of their veins and they don't see it.
Maybe the real problem is that they don't identify love. They don't know what real love is.
That's a damn lie. I love all my kids. I still make out with my kids. We make out like
nasty. So I think they just don't know what love is. They haven't really felt real love. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is.
Well, I'm glad we touched again on this particular topic.
So again, I want to know, what are some of the tools? What is something that we can do?
Like you said, don't give up, don't stop, because I brought that point about, them distancing themselves. And I say them because it could be your family member, friend, child, whoever it is you're trying to prevent from going through whatever. You're trying to be supportive. Don't stop. Again, this is like a drug addiction. It's an addiction. Period. And with an addiction, what do? Y'all said back up. You have to back up
and wait till they get tired.
Wait for them to get tired. But still, in the background, you don't need. I'm on the opposite. I don't think you need to back up. I think you still need to show them that they have that one somebody for when they do finally hit rock or whenever they finally need. You still got that one who's not passing judgment, that's going to always be there no matter what. I think they should still have that one person that does that. I don't think you should back up completely. I think you should still stick around some kind of way and continue support. So when you say how and what do we do, stick it out. Continue to give that support. You have to.
When y'all were in these relationships with these toxic people or whatever, did y'all realize that y'all was hurting your family also?
No.
When you were going through it? Did y'all realize that?
Not in it, no. Not in it. No.
Did you
know? It took me growing up to get that.
Did you realize that you was hurting other people besides yourself?
I hate to say this, and I apologize to anybody that I offend when I say it. But I didn't have family that gave a fuck.
I mean, you're speaking your truth. It's straight talk, no bullshit, right?
What about you?
No, I didn't realize it. It took me becoming a mama. It took me going through it and feeling it myself. It took me getting into a meaningful relationship to see. It took me getting strong myself to realize the hurt that's caused inadvertently to family. So no.
I realized that when my children were not a burden to someone else in my family and they were a burden to someone else as far as a man, it was okay.
I didn't understand that, Nate. I didn't get that.
When you said, do you realize that you're hurting your family? I'm waiting for the family to come back and tell me that I hurt them by the choices that I made, because the toxicity that I went through in the relationships that I went through, my family was right there. Nobody was there saying you shouldn't, you shouldn't, you shouldn't, you shouldn't. I had one auntie that told me that my girl's daddy's was toxic. And that's because she knew him growing up. That was my grandmother's sister. But as far as my aunties and my uncles that were close to me, my mother's brothers and sisters, I didn't have anybody telling me, run, bitch, run the other way. Because they were too busy fighting their own demons and the things that they were dealing with, that they didn't have time to save the lost souls. I'm on Straight Talk.
Do you think that at the age you were then, if you did have that you would have listened?
I say that all the time. That's why I can't let go of my own children. To be honest, I want my kids to have something that I didn't have. That's why I walked up into my daughter's house and put myself in harm's way as well as her children, because I didn't want her to go through the things that I had went through. See, there's not a person, and I hope my entire family watch Straight Talk. There's not a person in my entire family that Cynthia Renee Nelson did not have to help. And I mean, beg, borrow, scrape, plead, whatever I had to do in the name of family.
But wait, Nay, I'm asking at the point then, at the age you were then, which was young.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
You had that guidance because you said your family didn't give a fuck. They see you going through yah.
They didn't give a fuck.
Intervention. So if you'd gotten it, do you think at the age you'd been that you'd have received it?
I think I would have received it because, Tanya, I'm not one of those people. You have to have a teachable spirit. And Judy is the oldest friend that I have. I've never not had a teachable spirit. I'm bullheaded as fuck. I'm hard-headed as fuck. But at the end of the day, if it's something that's going to better me, I'm going to step back and I'm going to come to you and I'm going to apologize and I'm going to ask you to show me. I'm going to ask you to show me because I want to be a better person.
Well, Nay, I'm not trying to be ugly or nothing or take your family side, but I'm going to say this. You sat here and you said it yourself. You said sometimes you need to fall back. So maybe they chose that path to say, hey, maybe we can't tell Nay nothing. Maybe we need to let her just go and experience her own and let her figure it out on her own. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that was it. I can't say that they didn't care. I'm not going to say that because I don't believe that to be true.
When you're fighting your own family demons, and my family is still fighting those demons, you can't help somebody overcome something that you're fighting with yourself. You can't. Just because it's not a man, just because it's not XYZ, you can't help somebody overcome something, a demon that you can't overcome yourself. I refuse to fall victim to the family curses that my family have. And I'm not putting my family down per se. I love every last one of my family. But I had to choose me and my kids first in order for my children to live. I had to choose. I had to make a choice.
You hit your own rock bottom. You hit your own. So enough is enough. So to answer your question, Jay, at the beginning of this broadcast, we asked enough women or people who are in toxic relationships. When is enough? Enough is
and
enough.
You have to say
your ass hit rock bottom.
You have to say only you can say.
Carolyn is in the audience. Carolyn, I want to ask you, because I know you're in the audience. When is enough for you? That's what I want to know. When is enough?
Anybody watching? When do you feel enough is enough? When you find yourself in something toxic, if you've had an experience, if you're in one currently, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. When is enough? And enough is enough only for each individual person when they hit that low.
So unfortunately for some, when they hit rock bottom.
Unfortunately for
some, I told the story. I told the story tonight. I mean, what could be worse than losing your freedom?
Death.
Baby, that ain't hitting rock bottom. Well, that's rock bottom, though.
And like I said, it takes each individual person hitting whatever low. You, Nay, you, Jay, me, Tanya, everybody watching, we all have our own definition of what's low, of what rock bottom could be. Because to some, you say to yourself, baby, the threat of going to prison, because baby, me, you whisper that I'm finna get a ticket.
Okay.
Baby, so-and-so did it. They did it at this time. They was wearing this piece of clothing. I smelled this cologne on them. What else details do you need? You know, that's me over a ticket. I'm gonna rat and sing like a canary, just like these furry.
Well, I gotta say,
I'm gonna sing.
There was only one time at one relationship that I was in that I hit rock bottom. Mm-hmm. And I can't say I really hit rock bottom because I was fighting and trying to get out of the relationship. Didn't really want to be in a relationship.
So you was into something toxic.
I was in something toxic. Yes, only one. Oh. But it wasn't a real relationship because I really didn't want to be with the dude. You know what I'm saying? But I was with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he put in my mind that you can't be around my sisters unless you with me.
Still, it's control.
If you ain't gonna be in a relationship with me, don't come to my house. Don't come over and see my sisters. Yeah.
Control.
Dude used to hold me hostage in an apartment all the time.
Control.
Yes. Putting guns up to my head. You know what I'm saying?
So to some,
stab me in my back.
Wouldn't that have been enough is enough, right?
Well, you got enough. Enough. When I got stabbed in my back, that's when it was enough.
See? And a lot of women don't live to get stabbed in their back.
I tried to leave it. I did. I tried to leave it. But
why didn't you? Well, before the signs of getting stabbed.
It felt like I couldn't leave.
Why?
Because even if I didn't go over to their house, he would be at my house. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere I was, he was there, following me around. And
so you felt like you had no control because he was always around.
He was always there, following me, stalking me.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like I couldn't get away. So I just dealt with it. I just dealt with it. I said, oh, well, you know,
knowing that this could possibly go platinum at any moment.
But I felt like I was strong enough to handle it.
Okay, there we go.
But I could have been dead. I could have been dead.
Women,
you know what I'm saying?
Don't we say we strong enough to deal with most things?
Yeah.
Don't we? All things, honestly, we claim that we strong enough to deal with them. I'm just putting it out there.
But the moment that I got stabbed in my back is the day that I fought back, and I said no more. And I never went back, never turned around.
Well, I have to say this for most women that might be watching this, for any woman, any man, anybody in something they know is toxic. Because again, you feel it. You know it in your spirit. God gave everybody that. If you feel like you in something like that, don't wait. Please, on Jesus Christ, on Straight Talks Foundation, don't wait till something gets to stabbing in the back, shooting down the street, rape, any of that. Don't wait.
Giving up your freedom.
Having your children be submissive to the following abuse, because you know it's going to happen. Because if you're dealing with it, it's just a matter of time before that person takes it to your children. Don't wait. Find that strength somewhere, dig deep. And for those who are trying to help the ones that are in it that they see, don't give up. I disagree with both of you two bitches. Y'all say back up. I don't say back up. Now I agree, because we had a straight talk watcher that said, I tried, I prayed, I did whatever, and I prayed for him, and that's that. I agree that at some point, you do have to, in doses, measure doses. You give what you can, you back up a little bit, you come back in. It's like double dutch, you know. Whew. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But just don't give up. Please let them still know they got somebody. Because if you ever get to that point, I think if you find that point in your life where you say, I ain't got nobody, you gonna stay in it. Because you ain't got nobody.
That's true.
Let me I want to get this. I want to give this bit of advice. Tanya, you are absolutely right. You got to have that one person that won't give up on you. But this is what I have got to say to any man or woman, young man, young woman. Look at yourself in the mirror and own your own shit. Don't blame nobody else. Yes, that person may be toxic towards you. Yes, that person may have held you back from your greatness. Yes, that person said this and said that and did this and did that. But everything that person did or said to you, you accepted it. The first part of healing in life is accepting the responsibility of what you allowed them to do. My 18-year relationship, 9 was hell, 9 was good. When I accepted my own flaws, I'm a better woman today, because I don't blame him for the things that I accepted. I allowed, and my 2 best friends is on this panel saying the same thing we're saying today. Bitch, leave. Bitch, what you waiting on? Bitch, we offered him a job. Bitch, we got you a car. Bitch, we bought you food. Bitch, we bought you toilet paper. Bitch, we bought you households. Bitch, we bought you Medicaid. Bitch, all that. These 2 women did all that and above, and I still stuck with that man for 9 years.
Wow. And that's the reason I backed up.
In the sanctity of it's going to get better. But when I stepped back in 2017 and I said, think for myself, own my own shit. Don't blame him for what you accepted. Don't hate him for what you accepted. Don't wish nothing bad on him for what you accepted. So for the last 5 or 6 years, I have been happy. I have been blessed. I have been able to say I have more than I ever thought I would have at 47 because I own my own shit.
That takes time.
And I take my hat off.
It takes time.
I couldn't believe
It takes time, but Tanya, you
walked away from that relationship of 18 years. I couldn't believe it, but you did it.
It takes time, but Tanya, you will never heal. You will never heal pointing the finger at somebody else for the decision you made and the things that you chose to endure. You will never heal. I can honestly say, if I see my ex walking right now and he was in need of anything, I will pull over and help him, kiss his ass on the forehead. Deuces, partner, because the woman that you didn't want in me, another man did. Now that don't mean that Mr. Gray is perfect, because his ass ain't perfect.
Ain't nobody perfect. Nobody.
But he's definitely given me more than I had if I would have sat there for another 18 years.
All right. The Jones Michelle, she says, just because you back up doesn't mean that you give up. And I like that. And I want to end the show with that. All right. And that's true, y'all. Just because you back up doesn't mean that you give up.
Measure doses like double Dutch. Y'all, okay.
I really enjoyed this conversation.
I hope somebody got something out of it.
Me too. And y'all, I'm sorry that I let y'all get on y'all topics that y'all wanted to talk about.
Because I had one. Y'all,
we'll
this one right here.
We'll talk about it next week.
I got to get.
We're going to talk about it next week.
Finances. That's all I'm going to say. We're going
to talk about it next week.
We're going to talk about it.
So make sure y'all come back next Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, y'all. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share us, okay? And make sure you come back next week, okay?
Come on back.
For another good topic that we got.
I'm saying, let's
I know you can't wait.
I sure can't, because this one right here been driving me ragged about this one topic. We didn't have discussion over this one particular topic for 5 days. Y'all got to come rescue me, give me some insight. So yeah, come on back so we can talk about it.
All right, y'all.
Come back. Save me. Save me, girl.
This has been Straight Talk, No BS, y'all. We love all of y'all. Y'all have a good night.